Do you want to make sure Kelly's coming? Okay, so we're running a little late because Kelly's waiting for water to boil. I think she needs some coffee. Check, check, check. Hello, hello. You're good? Yeah? Okay. Is it out somewhere else? I don't know. Okay, welcome everyone. Thanks for coming. If you were here for the Plan to Protect, thanks for staying. You got coffee? Coffee and cookies. It's all good. We'll be up all night. Just an FYI, we are going to record this so that those that couldn't make it tonight can watch it later. So that is why we will ask questions. No, we won't ask questions. When you ask questions, we'll repeat them into the microphone so the people online who are watching will be able to know what question you asked. All right.
It's the Kelly and Nick show. No. How many times have we done this, Nick?
Quite a few. What,
Yep.
5? Is this 5?
I'm sure.
I threw her under the bus last year and made her do it by herself.
Did that
Where was I
happen?
go?
I don't know.
Where was I go?
Where was I go?
Can we start now, Bert?
Oops. Okay, let's pray. All right. Let's pray. Jesus, we're just so grateful again for the opportunity to come together as a volunteer group, as a church family, to just learn about this year's Kid Camp coming up. We thank you that you have given us favor in our community for all these years. We thank you for the resources you've given us and the volunteers that have consistently come every year. We're so grateful for all of these things. And so we just commit our time to you, asking you to bless it and bless Kid Camp. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Okay. Well, that's you.
Okay, so we are going to
Click. Click.
the right, you said, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Click. There you go.
Okay, so this is our agenda for the night. What everyone needs to know, we're going to go over your overview. What does Kid Camp in a day look like? A day in Kid Camp going to look like? Our schedule, our morning snapshot. That's what we're calling our get together every morning. We'll let you know who our Bible buddies are this year. They're cool again, very cool again. What our Bible points, what our stories, what our verses are for each day. We will go through our theme days. So exciting. We added an extra one this year. And a snack menu. We'll go through the facility map, food bank drive, Bible exchange table, supplies, and then sign in and out, which we kind of went through
a little bit.
Protect a little bit, but we'll go through it more. So we'll talk about the security wristbands for the kids. We'll talk about the dismissal process and what that looks like. And then we'll also reinforce again this year. So during the dismissal process, those that don't have a job in the corral with the children for dismissal will be on other duties before you just flee and go home. Make sense?
All right. Okay, so before we continue, if you need to have a look at, did we hand out the binders? No. They're sitting on the back counter. Okay. So we have binders for all the dedicated grade group leaders. So if you're a grade group leader for Kid Kamp, elementary age, you will get a binder as soon as Rochelle grabs it from the office. And if you are the kind of person that needs to have something visual in front of you, you can sidle up to one of those people and share and look along, but we should have it on the screen for you. This is, I know you can't read it, but this is the overview chart of basically the whole week. And you will, all the grade leaders will have one in their binders, and all the station leaders will have one. And it's just covering the days going down the left and the stations and what they're doing and the Bible story, everything's on there. So it is a great resource to have, especially if you have kids asking or your helper is asking. Okay, so if you're a grade leader, can you please put up your hand? So if you're kindergarten, grade 1, grade 2, or grade 3, put up your hand and Rochelle will send you a binder.
Send sounds.
Send. Hand over. Deliver.
Rocked in the noggin with
There you go. All right.
Okay, so our schedule for the day. So every single day, this is what our schedule is going to look like. So at 9:30, everyone, K and grade 1, that's kindergarten and grade 1, grades 2 and 3, and grades 4 and 6, we're all going to meet in here in the sanctuary, and we're going to have our open session and worship. Miss Jen and perhaps Miss Naomi for the first time we'll be gearing the kids up and getting them all excited and ready to go for a great day. Then we move on to our rotation. So we have a 5-minute quick rotation in between each station. So 9:55, this is how we read this schedule. 9:55, kindergarten and grade 1 are going to be at Imagination Station, games and snack. So that's all outside. At 9:55, grades 2 and 3 are also going to be at Bible Story. Then they're going to swap halfway through. So you will hear that lovely bullhorn, wee, 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 like the minion noise. That's what you're going to hear. That's time to switch. All right? And then we have again, after that block is over, a 5-minute rotation time, and then we switch. So those that were at Imagination Station, games and snack previously are going to move to Bible Story, and vice versa. Again, a 5-minute rotation, and then everyone meets in here again for closing session / worship. Now, the exception to this will be the 4s, 5s, and 6s who get to go off campus again and do their own thing. So they love it, like love it, love it, love it, and it seems to be a great fit for them.
Okay, so that's you too.
That's me too. Okay. So we are calling our morning get-together because we always get together in the sanctuary every morning. We pray over you. We give you a snapshot of what that day is going to look like. We talk about the Bible point a little bit, anything that's changed from the previous day that we tweaked to make better, all those kinds of things. So we're calling that this year, Let's Touch Base. We're going to be in the sanctuary. Office and registration first.
Yes, so you're going to meet with them.
We're going to meet with them first because they're going to be busy while we're in here. So we're going to meet with those guys first. That'll be previous to our we have to double check. I think it's 8:45 that we meet in here for Let's Touch Base. Then we'll go on to our opening session. So that's when Miss Jen and Miss Naomi are going to be like loud. May I even say slightly obnoxious? Yeah, probably. Okay. Maybe. That'd be good. That'd be good. We'll have some worship. We'll have some fun. We'll get the kids ready and ramped up for the day. Like, it's like giving them an Oreo and a bottle of pop and saying, okay, go have fun, Mom. So I'm sorry, grade leaders, but your kids are going to be ramped up, ready for the day, and they're going to be roaring to have fun. Stations, we have Bible Discovery. So that's going to still be here again in the sanctuary. Jonathan Sanders is going to be leading that this year for us.
Yep.
We have
Thank
Imagination Station, which is going to be out in the garage again, and Chris Pino is going to be leading that for us. We have Snack. We can never go without Snack.
Never.
Snack, never. So Tanya, whom I don't think can make it
she's
tonight,
here
she's going to lead that. And then we have games. So quick update for games. We are now looking, due to something that has come up, a new games leader. So if you know of anyone who can take that, we're looking for a new games leader. Closing session. So we're going to meet back here. Everyone's going to meet back here. And we're still going to ramp the kids up. So Miss Jen, Miss Naomi will do their thing again. We'll do some more worship with them. We're going to get them so loud in here that people are going to hear them on the sidewalks. It's going to be awesome. And then comes the most amazing part, is dismissal. So we will have corrals set up. So all these chairs are going to be gone. Imagine an empty sanctuary, only full of kids. On the perimeter, we're going to have the white fencing that we use downstairs in G-Force. And so we're going to have corrals set up. All the kids will be corralled by alphabet.
We'll go through that, I think, further down.
Okay, so we'll get into detail with that. But anyways, they will be dismissed that way by alphabet. And then anyone who isn't in a corral will be assigned a task to do that day later.
All right. Okay, so here we go. Our action for this year is Awesome God. Awesome God. Okay, so day one is Harley the Gila monster. I have always said Gila monster. It's not. It's Gila monster. So Harley the Gila monster. The Bible point: God loves you no matter what. They learn about Joseph's family feuds. And sure. Day two is Miley the Roadrunner. God is with you everywhere, and they learn about Joseph being imprisoned. Howl the Coyote. Bible point: God is in charge, and they learn about Joseph and how he gets new responsibilities. Day four is Rollo the Armadillo. There you go. Good job. Good job, everybody. God is stronger than anything. And Jesus, they learn about Jesus dying and coming back to life. And Jet, I'm assuming this is a jackrabbit? Anyone? We'll run. God is what?
Just be God is.
God is. Surprising. Thank you. All right.
God is surprising.
If you look in that big chart at the beginning of your binder, it'll say it in there. Gee whiz. Okay. Joseph's family feuds again. Oh my goodness, that poor Joseph. Okay. And just so that you guys know, preschool has Quincy. Isn't she cute, or he cute? All right. And if you're not aware, there's the 3 age groups that operate simultaneously. So 4, 5s, and 6s, elementary, and preschool all happen at the same time. Preschool will be downstairs, and 4s, 5s, and 6s will be coming and going, and the elementary stay. And just as a precursor, because I see a hand up in the air, if you have any questions, please put it on Park, And if I haven't answered it by the very, very end, then you can come ask me the question. All right. So, themed days. That's you.
Okay, so the first day is exciting enough. We don't need anything else to happen on the first day, so that's just that day. Tuesday, as per usual, will be Bring a Friend Day. So we will have registration forms for those kids available for parents to take home on Monday as well. So encourage your kids on Monday. Hey, if you know of a friend who wants to come, or you think that they should be here with you because they have a blast, tell them to come tomorrow. Wednesday, Crazy Hair Day. Yes, that's going to take some planning, just saying. Thursday, Backwards Day. Leaders, prepare yourselves. They will walk backwards. They will wear their pants backwards. It's going to take longer in the bathroom. They will try anything that they can do to wear backwards. They won't be able to see properly because their hair will be in front of their eyes instead of behind their head. So just a heads up. And Friday, a brand new one, Silly Sunglasses Day. So make your own out of pipe cleaners. I don't care what you do. Go to the dollar store and let's have fun with some sunglasses.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm a happy clicker.
Kelly's had too much coffee.
I haven't had any coffee.
Oh, then she's tired if she hasn't had any coffee.
Yeah.
All right, snack menu. Okay, so very similar to last year. We're going to do the same thing we did last year. We're going to brown bag it. I believe that's correct.
Yes.
Okay, brown bag it again, which is super easy for the kids. So our snack team will be able to put all the snacks into a brown bag. It's super easy for the leaders. We bring it out on a tray. You're good to go. We do have alternatives, though, for those that have gluten intolerances or
Dairy. And,
or like there's a watermelon allergy, stuff like that. So we will have alternatives. You, as a leader, will know if one of the children in your grade has a food intolerance or sensitivity or an allergy.
And the kitchen will know. Yeah.
Yeah, so just make sure that you are watching for what snacks that said child is eating. And if I'm correct, we will be putting alternate snacks in something other than the brown paper bag that the rest of the children will be receiving.
It'll be marked and flagged. And also, just as a heads up, we have encouraged parents. So if the gluten, if they're celiac and they're very highly sensitive, we can't provide that protection for the kids in our kitchen. So we're encouraging parents to bring their own snack. And that's why we posted the snack menu this year right away, because then parents can kind of copy what we've made and they can send something similar with the child from home. And that can go for children that have very, like, they're highly, their food choices are very narrow. So if the parent or the child is more comfortable with bringing their own food from home, they're more than welcome to. So you might have a kid that comes to their small group or to your small group with a snack in their hand, and you would just hand that into the kitchen.
Marion, who is on our first aid, you want to wave Marion? She will also have a list of those allergies and whatnot as well, just so that she knows.
And she will be in the office.
Not yet. Not yet. Okay, you have a map in your binder. So just in case you're not super familiar with the facility, this is where everything is. So the garage for Imagination Station. So once you go out the parking lot doors, the garage is off to your right and just in the back kind of thing. That's the only thing that's not in the building proper. Everything else is
Well, the games will be
back 40 kind of deal.
Yeah.
So, but you'll hear and see where the games are because they'll be loud and probably obnoxious out there too, having fun, enjoying themselves. So everything else is in building. Bible story is in here. Open and close is in here. Bathrooms are in here. Snack is outside or in here, depending on WASPs this year.
probably inside.
Yeah, and
Preschool's downstairs.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about some issues that have come up over the past years that we are addressing so that you guys are just aware. Heads up. Okay. So there are going to be behavioral issues. Some of them are just bad behavior, but most of them have potential causes. And so we're going to give you some ideas of maybe how to deal with them. So some kids are going to come hungry. They might be coming hungry because they didn't plan to eat properly. They might be coming hungry because there's something going on in the home and there's no food. Either way, they're going to be hungry. When you have a hungry kid, what mood are they in? Hungry and mad, right? Hangry. And usually children who are hungry misbehave because they're just irritable. And so this is not something to be abused by our hollow-legged volunteers. But if you find that a child is coming hungry all the time, please just talk to Tanya in the kitchen. She will have a few items that we can hand to the kids real quick that they can munch on and get their blood sugar going and hopefully alleviate some of that hunger. But just be aware that that is something that actually happens. They could be irritable because they've had lack of sleep and a poor schedule, which usually happens during the summer, right? Right. So, but it could be a flag like we talked in Plan Protect. It could be a flag that if they're coming with lack of sleep all the time, that they're tired and exhausted, it might be something that we kind of check off in our head and be aware of. Overstimulation. Some neurodivergent children will be overstimulated by the noise, overstimulated by the busyness, overstimulated by the fact that they've been home in front of a TV all summer and now they're with a bunch of people. Like, there's lots of different reasons why they'd be overstimulated. If you notice that, we have headphones. They're not like sound canceling, but they'll muffle some sound, so that might be a thing. Or you could just bring them to the office and let them have some quiet time. We're going to be using Pastor Brent's office because it's empty right now. We're going to be using that as our kind of quiet room / de-escalating room / first aid. So Marion is going to be our hands-on healer. Let's just call her that. All right. Stress at home, obviously, if there's abuse, that's something that we need to make note of and possibly report. And of course, every kid that's on the spectrum, there's several spectrums, those kids are going to naturally have potential behavioral issues. And so we're aware of that. You'll be aware of it if that child is in your group, and then that'll help you deal with that child in a way that they need to be dealt with. Okay? So again, we'll have earmuffs available and fidgets available. Please don't just hand every kid that's a problem in your group a fidget at the beginning of the morning. That's not what they're there for. You are to observe and notice and isolate an issue and then offer an earmuff or a fidget to help them deal with the thing that is Kid Camp. In your binder, grade leaders, you have 4 R's of classroom management page. Please read that. That is a tool in your tool belt. And there's also another page called Monumental VBS Leader Tips and What to Do If. And that is also a tool in your tool belt for dealing with behavioral issues and things that come up in your group. Okay, next. Proper displays of affection. We've gone over this at Plan to Protect, but if you are coming not from Plan to Protect, here's just a reminder that there is appropriate touch. And the bottom line is, do it in front of people. That's called above reproach. Don't do anything behind closed doors or when no one is looking. But when a child is crying, you can console them. You can give them a side hug. You can bring them in close. You can pat them on the back. All these things are appropriate and useful for calming and comforting a child. So holding their hand while you're listening to them, side hugs, shoulder hugs, patting them gently on the head or the shoulder. All these things are good and above reproach and are healthy. And at the bottom there, just a reminder that our first aid, which is Marion the healer, she will be in Pastor Brent's office, which is at the very back of our office. So you pass Minick's desk and all the way to the back.
So Marion will be the distributor of Band-Aids as well. And I know that that kind of sucks for some people because it's a Band-Aid. But it's still a Band-Aid, and she writes out a report for everything and documents all of it because she likes to cross her T's and dot her I's. And so we're going to just do even Band-Aids. Marion will give you, her loving touch and just and gently apply that Band-Aid, and console you, and maybe pray for you. And then I think Marion wanted to address something that has gone from my brain already. So some of you will have children
Marion,
that are severely allergic to things.
Some of you will have children who are severely allergic to things, and they will come with an Epipen. An Epipen is adrenaline that can be administered if a child is allergic to a bee sting or something else that they have an allergic reaction to. That's not sensitivity, that's not something they just don't like, but it's an anaphylactic reaction, which is a completely systemic reaction, and it's very dangerous and can be life-threatening. If you have a child who comes with an Epipen, please come to me and talk to me about it so that I'm sure you understand how to administer it, which you are allowed to do, but I also need to know what's going on because I have to call an ambulance. Because once the child has had the Epipen, they have 15 minutes before they need another one. Okay, any questions?
Perfect, thanks.
There was something else I was going to remind people about. I just wanted to empower everyone. Please, everyone, just listen for a sec. You have the right to feel safe and supported by us in what you're doing. And if a child consistently takes your attention, whether it's bad behavior or special needs of some sort, and we need to get them an aid or whatever, please don't let that child drain your energy and your focus and your attention. Let us deal with that problem. So after day 1 or day 2, if you notice that there's a child that's going to need extra care, do not feel like you have to be a martyr and endure that child for the whole week. That is not your job. So, this is my permission to you to bring that problem to us, and we will problem solve for you. That is what we are here for. And we will try and find a solution as soon as possible. All right? Does everyone hear me on that? Okay.
Okay, so moving on to
Sign in.
continuing to keep campers safe, sign in. So once children are signed into the program, this includes our volunteer children. Once they're in this room and they have been signed in, for safety purposes so that we know where all of the children are, they may not leave the sanctuary without a volunteer. So if they have to go to the bathroom, not a problem, but they have to go with a volunteer. Okay, because we need to know where all of the children are at all times. If I was a parent and found out that nobody knew where my kid was for 5 minutes, I'd be like, what? I don't think so, Tim.
The most dangerous time is from the time the parent drops the child off and the time the program starts. Because kids, especially the younger ones, they have no reference for schedule or procedure or anything. They don't know. They're just here to have fun. And they think that they can just come and go because it's an open space. But what they don't realize is they've been signed in, and that means as soon as that signature is on the paper, We are responsible for that child. And if that child is free to come and go between here and the outside, no one knows where that child is. And they can get lost or taken without anyone noticing, even if there's like hundreds of us in the room, because we don't have trackers on them and do you know what I mean? So that is why we need to insist that once a child is signed in, they have to stay in the sanctuary under our protection.
So our youth helpers, you'll probably be called on a lot in the morning to not only bring our children into the sanctuary once they're signed in, but then to possibly take them to the bathroom while we're waiting for Kid Camp proper to start. Okay, moving on to visitors. All video visitors, must is capitalized for a reason, must sign in with the door attendant, who is usually Laurel. She's our bouncer. And they have to wear a visitor tag, just so that we know if, God forbid, there was a fire in the building or something happened, we know who's here and we can keep track of everyone. Okay, it's also a plan to protect thing. We need to keep track of everyone who is around our kids too. All adults inside the sanctuary must wear identification. So every volunteer for Kid Camp will have a name tag.
And a shirt.
And a Kid Camp leader shirt. So wear your Kid Camp leader shirt every day. Wear your name tag every day. If you brought your name tag home, please remember to bring it back. But we do have a name tag drop off at the end of the day for everyone as well. If you don't have a leader shirt yet, sorry. If someone does not have a leader shirt and you see them, or a visitor name tag on, you have to direct them immediately to whoever is on that door, whoever's being the bouncer for us. Again, it will probably be Laurel, or the office in the morning. So if you see someone walking around, don't know who they are, they don't look familiar, even if they do look familiar, even if it's Pastor Brent and he comes in, hey, how's it going? Have you signed in, Pastor Brent?
Do you have a visitor tag?
That's right. And we do joke, but it's totally serious. Whoever comes in here needs to sign in, okay? So they have to do that. Visitors must not be left alone with any children but their own. We have not screened any visitors. We don't have crim checks for visitors. We don't have any of that kind of stuff. So if a parent wants to stay with their child for a little while in the morning in the sanctuary because their child's having a hard time, it's Monday morning, the kid is like, I am not sure about this. This is not okay. Until that child gets comfortable and the parent wants to stay, not a problem. But the parent has to sign in and they have to have a visitor tag. Okay, and they can stay all morning if they want, but they can't be left alone with any other child except their own, and they have to be signed in and they have to be wearing their visitor tag. Okay, early dismissal. It happens every year. 1 or 3 children have to go to an appointment early and they have to leave. Not a problem. We always tell our parents, so whether they tell you this as a grade leader as they're dropping off their kid, or they tell you this at the registration table, or they come to the office and tell us, we will tell the parent that it's not a problem. Come pick up your kid, no problem, anytime, but you have to come to the office. We will then go and get your child, bring said child back, you get to sign out your child from the office, and we hand over your child. Okay, because we'll get into this in a little bit, but each child that is not allowed to sign themselves out for the day will have a wristband with a number on it. And whoever dropped off said child will have the corresponding number. No number, no kid. Kind of like Chuck E. Cheese.
Or the coat check.
The coat check, yeah. It's a kid check. So that's not a problem for parents that want to pick up their kids before. Count heads. This is a great, great practice for all of you leaders. So once all your kids are signed in, we're doing worship, or Miss Jen and Miss Naomi are doing their thing, I want you to take a quick head count. How many kids are in your group? Pretty easy to tell because they all have the same color t-shirt on. A little harder on Tuesday for bring a friend, but do a head check, do a head count, so that you know later on when you're outside and in the back 40 doing games or whatnot, okay, I had 15 kids to start, I still have 15 kids. Okay, we're good. If there's a problem, if you have 14 or 16, If you picked up one from somewhere, you need to make sure that that child goes back to their appropriate spot, or you need to find said child. Now, they could be in the bathroom, which is fine, which brings me to the point of our youth helpers. If a child says to you, hey, I have to go pee or whatever, you need to make sure your leader knows where you are and where that child is, because we don't want anyone to go missing, even though you've just taken a child to the bathroom, everything's legit and on the up and up. But if your leader doesn't know, they may hit the panic button and say, we've lost a child. We need to find said child. And now it's all hands on deck, and everyone's searching when you're just in the bathroom with said child. So just make sure your leader knows all the time where you're going and what you're doing.
Okay. Oh, I can't do it. All right. So, best tips. As a volunteer, don't overbook yourself for the week prior and the week of Kid Camp. We have learned over the many years that when you overbook yourself, that causes stress. And when you're stressed, you don't sleep properly, you don't eat properly, and ultimately you get sick. So try and leave your afternoons and evenings free. That'll help you decompress from the morning, allow you to enjoy your week a lot more, and it'll help you fight against getting sick. Make sure that all your training is done and read through your binders or any information you have to be prepared. Listen to the VBS songs that we have. We have this year, there's no CDs, just digital downloads.
You did it?
Good job.
For those of us untechy people,
Yeah.
I'm one of them. Digital downloads are scary. Just saying, Jonathan's laughing. But it's true. Digital downloads are scary. It's like, what do you do? Which device do you put it on? Where to go? How many devices can I put it on? There's so many questions, Jonathan. I'm telling you, there's so many questions.
There you go.
Okay.
And obviously pray. Be in the habit of prayer for Kid Camp. Pray for the Holy Spirit to do a deep work in the lives of the children, of their families, and us volunteers. Ask for protection from the enemy and from illness, and ask for decisions for Christ, and pray for unity.
Okay, so during the week of Kid Camp, we get to get up early. We get to. We don't have to get up early. We get to get up early because it's Kid Camp. Woo-hoo! Have a good breakfast with protein, because it'll see you through more of the morning. And I would probably suggest, because I'm a planner, the night before, or a couple nights before, because I like to plan, you get all your ducks in a row and you're like, okay, what's the theme day coming up? And so you have your idea for crazy hair or crazy hat or sunglasses or whatever, and you've done your homework and you're good to go. So there's no stress. Practice good hygiene. I'm going to go there again. Deodorant. Wash
Preferably
your
a
shirt.
shower.
Yes, please have a shower.
Brush your teeth.
Please change your outfit, the whole thing, every day. If you have to ask mom to wash your Kid Camp shirt every day, go for it. Or you can throw it in the sink and quickly wash it with a little bit of detergent. That's okay too. Hang it to dry. You're good. Practice good hygiene. Nobody wants to be in a room with 180 people jumping and yelling and screaming when the body next to you is emitting an odor that is going to make your eyes water.
Trust me, the reason why we're saying this is because we have lived it.
It's true. It's happened.
We're not just pulling this out of a hat. There's a reason why we're saying this. It's true. And also, please practice good hand washing. And what I mean by that is when you come from home, wash your hands here. When you go home, wash your hands. When you eat with your hands, like when you put something in your mouth, Wash your hands first. There's a reason why we say this, because that's how germs are transferred, and that's how you get sick, especially at kid camp. So
we all know that because most of us are parents, we've seen our littles, and they will pick their noses and rub it on their friend. Hi, Kelly. They'll spit when they talk, same as us. They will do whatever and touch whatever you're about to touch, the handrail or the bathroom door or whatever, the door on your way out, or they'll lick the door. So, yes, hand washing is a thing. Maybe disinfecting as you're coming in and out, it's up to you. If you feel comfortable or you feel better wearing a mask or a face shield, totally do it. It's up to you. Up to you. Wear proper kid camp attire. So your kid camp t-shirt is mandatory. You have to wear that every day so we can recognize you as a leader. Wear something comfortable on the bottom, especially your shoes, something that you're going to be comfortable walking / running, loping, jogging, whatever constitutes a run for you, as you're running after herding cats and doing all that kind of stuff. If you need sunscreen, bug spray, make sure you bring that or you have it on before you come. And have your creature comforts on you. Mine is my lip chap. I always need my lip chap. Bring your beverage. If you need the coffee to come, bring the coffee. It's okay, but make sure you have an unspillable cup because it's a hot liquid. But it can be the elixir of life for a kid camp morning, so bring it if you need it. Tissue, gum, granola bar, like snack, whatever it is. We try to do no nuts though, so if you're bringing your own snack from home, we try to keep it a nut-free environment, okay? Plan to arrive by 8:45. And we ask you to do this so you can give yourself a little bit of extra time because we would like you to park a little bit further away unless you have babies that need to go in the nursery that morning and you need to park a little closer. And we ask you to park down the road a little bit so that our guests who are coming to bring their littles to kid camp can park in the parking lot and take advantage of that space. Give yourself enough time to sign in your kids if you have kids coming to kid camp. And
register them now to us.
yes, if you have not registered your kids yet, now is the time.
For nursery.
Especially for nursery as well. If you're a volunteer and you have kids going into the nursery, we need you to register those littles as well. But Monday morning, chaotic Monday morning, is not the morning to register your kids for kid camp. Just saying, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah. Okay, visit the locker room. So the locker room is going to be in the conference room. So we're going to have some shelving set up, and there'll be bins on all the shelves with like grade 1 and grade 2 and grade 3, preschool, kindergarten. You'll have your name tags. You'll have a bag in there with your binder in there. You can take your binder home at the end of each day if you need to look over the next day, but bring it back so that you know what's going on. And we want you to do all those things, including like if you have to hit the bathroom quickly before we go, then we want you to do all those things before the Let's Touch Base starts in the sanctuary, okay? So if your kids are attending kid camp, please ensure you have your security stub with you. So that would be your child's wristband number. Put it in a safe place. If you put it in the bag, make sure that as you're grabbing things out of the bag during kid camp, that you're not losing it. No, no stub, no kid. So do you want me to go into that right now? What happens when you don't? Okay, so here's the deal. It's a painful process. Yeah.
That doesn't mean your child comes home with me. No. That means you go home and come back and get your child and then go home.
Okay, it is a painful process. So if you forget a stub or you lost your stub, your child then has to wait in the corral, probably hangry, and with a leader that might be getting hangry. What you need to do is provide picture ID. You have to go to the office where Miss Rochelle or Miss Dawn, Miss Rochelle and Miss Dawn, they will be taking a photocopy of said ID. And then you have to sign, I am picking up my child because I lost my stub. On said ID piece of paper, which we will then keep for all of eternity because it's paperwork that we have to keep. So if you don't have your driver's license with you, because that has happened, you then have to go home, get said driver's license, come back, at which point in time your child is stomping mad at you because he's the only one left in the corral. All his friends are left, and he's made to wait. So it's a painful process. Put your stub where you're not going to lose it, and keep it. Keep it, keep it, keep it. Okay, where are we? For your convenience, if you are not the one picking up your child, so parents may ask you this, if they're not the ones picking up their child, what do? Not a problem. Give those stubs with the numbers to another person who's going to be coming and picking up the child. We don't care who picks up the child, as long as, well, we do, but we don't, as if you have the number stub, you can pick up the child. Okay?
And then there's also the ability to use it.
Yeah. If you are not going to see said person that you need to give those stubs to, because you're just like ships passing in the night, you can drop those stubs off with a signed note, dated, signed, the whole 9 yards in the office, and Dawn or Rochelle will give it to the person who comes in with picture ID to pick up the stubs. Does that make sense? Clear as mud?
Are you done?
Okay, I'm done.
Woo. All right. Home run. We're just about there. Yay. Okay, so more best tips. Please do not check your cell phone 1,000 million times in the morning. Better yet, don't even bring your cell phone in with you. If you have to, I understand. There are some parents and grandparents and caregivers that need to have their phone on them, but please don't let that be a distraction. Your goal is not to check if someone texted you 2 seconds ago. Your goal is to focus on the children. So try to leave it somewhere. You can leave it with us in the office and it'll be safe there, or put it in your bag, turn the ringer off, but you have it accessible to you. Just don't let it be a distraction, please. I really don't want to come into worship time before and after and see youth scrolling through their phones. I'm going to have an issue with that.
Or napping. Please don't nap.
Okay. We have a history of allowing leaders to write on kids' shirts, like encouraging words, drawing little pictures, all that kind of thing. But again, please don't let that be a distraction. Don't do it while the kid's trying to hear the Bible story. Do it when there's an appropriate time. Sometimes that's while while you're waiting for the program to start. That's a good time to do it.
Or in the corrals, maybe?
Yeah, or in the corrals, but not when they're trying to learn something. Okay, so this is for my leaders and for their helpers, my grade leaders and their helpers. We do follow-up letters, and what that means is several months after Kid Camp, we will be sending a letter or a note written by you to the child's home with their name on it, which they love because they love getting letters. And it'll have an encouraging word from you written back at Kid Camp. So what I am encouraging you to do as a grade leader and helper is to make them loving and encouraging, and maybe remind them of a Bible point or something that happened during Kid Camp that you both enjoyed or loved. In your binder, you will have slips of paper to write those notes on, and we can give you more if you need more. What is this? Sorry, I'm thinking and reading at the same time.
Note at least one thing about
Oh,
it,
yes.
please,
Thank you. So the easiest thing for you to do, because some of us have bad memories, is when you notice something about a child, like they have the best laugh, or I love this kid's energy, or whatever it is. Make a note of it with the child's name on it, and that'll help you so much when you're at the end of the week, when you're trying to remember and try to write an encouraging note. That will be in your notes, and you can call that up and put it on your note. And that's so encouraging to a child to read that you saw something in them and you put it down on paper. That's really cool, and they love that. So that's a quick tip for you. Be aware as you're with your kids, make notes for yourself so that at the end of the week you can use them. You can use a form letter method, which means you write the same thing to each child and you just plug your name into it, their name into it, and sign your name at the bottom. There's also just a quick note like, hey, loved having you in my group. Hope you come to Kid Camp next time. Or you could do a mix of both. Either one is okay. You don't have to make it really fancy. It's just think about the kid, what they're going to think of when they open up that letter. Put yourself in their shoes. And handwritten is preferable. I know that people complain about their printing or their handwriting, but really, what would be more meaningful? Seeing someone handwrite a note to you or see a typed letter? Handwritten is more meaningful. So please ignore the fact that you don't like your printing and print the note. Pick a verse if you want, or remind them about how awesome God is, or one of the God settings that you talked about. All these things are great ideas to throw into your note. And then each note, if you can, because I'm getting them after the fact, and I don't know your group, what your group was like or anything like that, so you need to give me the information. That means the child's first and last name on that note and your name on that note. That would be super helpful. And then we're encouraging you, please, 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 to give us those notes by that Sunday, so you can have from Friday to Sunday to write those notes. But I really would like them as soon as possible. It's easier for you to write the notes if you do it right away, and then I don't have to chase you and bug you and be the bad person. Because I need to make sure that every kid gets a note, and then I need to address the note, and then I need to mail the note, and all that stuff takes time. And please pray. I put pray 3 times with 3 exclamation marks. So it's really important. In bold and capital. It's really important that we pray. We need to operate on the power of prayer. And here is where Miss Kelly is going to give the skill testing question for our online viewers. So there's many people who are not here today, and they're going to be watching this recorded on YouTube. And so I'm just going to tell you a little story, and then you have to give me the answer. So this morning, I was forgetting something, and I needed to remember. I needed to get a particular item for Miss Michelle, who's going to teach G-Force on this Sunday, and I'm going to be away. So I had to remember to get that item. I thought it was at home. I went home. I couldn't find it. So I come back this afternoon, and guess where it was? It was in my office, where I'd been all day, because I'm very forgetful or not observant, obviously. And the thing was, which is not important, but it is for the people who are watching online, it was green gardening mesh, plastic mesh. And so you need to tell me that answer in an email or to me in person so that I know that you've watched this video. Thank you.
Okay, a couple things before we go on to expectations that we didn't cover. Our youth helpers. So in the morning, each morning that you guys are here, what we want you to do if you are helping in a grade. So what we want you to do without congregating and just standing there and talking to each other, because that's not helpful. So what we'd like you to do is go by the sanctuary doors and wait for littles to be signed in or registered, and wait for them to be coming into the sanctuary. Then you'll see the color of their t-shirt. So it's really easy peasy to then take their hand, say, hi, I'm whatever your name is, I'm Miss Minnick, let's go take you to your group and you can meet your leader or whatever, and then you take them to their group, okay? So kids feel so much more comfortable walking in when you introduce yourself. You're coming down to their level, you're saying hi, you're making them feel welcome, because some kids, especially Monday morning, be a little bit freaked out. It's loud in here. It's bright in here, it's colorful in here, and there's a lot going on. So some kids, especially our littles, our kindergartners and our grade ones, are going to be a little hesitant. So we would love for you guys to do that. Please don't take offense. If I see you, or Miss Kelly or Miss Jen sees you, and you're just standing there talking, and I see kids walking by you, and they're not being escorted to a group, I'm going to be like, hey guys, I need you to do your thing. Please,
Move it or lose it.
Move it or lose it.
No, I'll try and be more kinder than that. But you have a job to do. It's not to congregate. Your job is to work. And working means delivering children from one place to another safely.
And the other thing that you guys will be doing for us, youth helpers and leaders, will be to take said kids that are in our groups, just pay attention. If they have to go to the bathroom, sometimes it's a nervous pee. They're in here with a lot of people, and that happens, right? So we'll just take them to the bathroom again, let your leader know that where you're going and what child you have. You can go, then you can come back, make sure they wash their hands, and they're good to go. And the other thing that we didn't talk about is during dismissal. Well, we didn't talk about dismissal, did we?
We did not. Okay,
We did not talk about
that was
dismissal.
my fault.
Okay, so we're going to talk about dismissal now and what that looks like.
Sorry.
So again, we have corrals either side. They're going to be alphabetical. We're going to have big alphabet signs hung on the walls. So at the end of Kid Camp, at the end of closing session, Miss Jen is going to be releasing children grade by grade. We're going to do the kindergartners first so they don't get trampled by all the big grade 4s. Grade 5s and grade 6s, right? So the kindergartners are going to go in their corral first, probably kindergartners, grade 1s, then we'll do grades 2s and grades 3s, all the kids are going to go in their corrals if they cannot
By
sign
last
themselves up.
name.
By last name. So even if, and I'm sorry to our day home parents, it doesn't go under your last name. It's too hard to keep track for our leaders.
Actually,
and
we
for
can.
our registrations.
We can.
We can.
But day home mom's name goes first, and then it's hyphenated with the kid's real
Okay.
last name.
So this will be a training thing with Miss Sarah
Yes.
for our registration team.
Yeah.
You'll know when you sign your kids in whether or not they're going to go under your day home last name or their own last name. So, but as a leader, you need to know that. So whatever last name is first on your sheet that you're going to have with your kids' names on it, that's the corral they go in. If I say my name's Minnick Eustishin, I don't get in the Y, if you can even spell Eustishin, but I don't get put in the Y corral if I came with Jan Evans. I get put in the E corral because I came with her if her name is in front of mine on your sheet that you're getting. Does that make sense? It's going to be confusing. Yes, Laurel. So the registration team is going to write the letter, the dismissal letter, which with a corresponding corral on their wristbands. So even if I say, but my last name is Eustishin, why do I have to go to the A one with an X? What are you doing? You need a K?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yes. So yeah, so just watch for that. It won't be on the sheet. It
It'll
won't
be
match your
on their
sheet.
wristbands. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Take a look at a wristband. They're too little to probably recognize that that's a K or an L or an M, and place them in the correct corral. So while dismissing is going on, we'll have leaders in the corrals. We'll have some youth helpers in the corrals, but we'll also have some of you who won't be assigned to a corral that day. You'll be assigned to, okay, let's wipe off all the door handles upstairs. Somebody will be assigned, I need you to empty all the garbages. Somebody else will be assigned, go downstairs to preschool and empty their garbages or wipe their whatever, right? So there's jobs because our custodians have to come in here every single day of Kid Camp and clean up after 180 people have been in the building. And that takes a long time. So if we can do a little bit of vacuuming and wiping and changing garbages and stuff like that, literally it takes us about half an hour as a group to get it all done, but it saves them about 5 hours worth of work. So we don't want to kill them. Our custodians are also our volunteers. So we just want to help them that way.
Okay. We should put that in our notes so that
Right? Note to self. Well, we should watch the video too. And then we'll
Do you want to do this
Yeah.
again, or
Sure. Okay, so expectations. Do you want to hit the clicky? You want to be a happy clicky?
happy clicker? There we go. So much fun.
Okay, expectations. We're going to go from expectations. We're going to do 10 of them, and we're going to start from least and go to the greatest. So share and record your God moments and salvation choices. This is really important because some of the kids who make a choice to follow Jesus for the very first time, that's kind of cool to record that, and so that they have the date later. You can maybe even put it in their follow-up letter. Number 9, communicate to us any problems or concerns you're experiencing as soon as you possibly can. If you have to send your youth helper to come and let us know that you're having an issue with a child, or you personally are having an issue, just come, send somebody to the office, and we will try and help you as soon as possible. Number 8, ask for help if you're lost, and I don't mean that physically, although maybe physically you can get lost, but
If you're lost, you have other big issues in play.
or if you're overwhelmed in any way. And if you've never been at Kid Camp before, can I just say that Monday morning, you're going to be a little bit overwhelmed. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot to be a part of, but it is kingdom changing for people, for so many people. Number 7, be prepared. Come comfy, come with your creature comforts. Look at your notes in your binder. Pray, 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 pray.
We put all that stuff on the paper for a reason. And the reason is because we have experience. And the reason why we have experience is because we've been doing a long time. So please listen to us and read those papers and prepare. Trust me, you'll thank us later.
The more prepared you are, maybe it's just me because I'm a planner, the more prepared I am, the less stress I feel.
There you go.
Yes. Number 6, model positive behavior and attitude to our youth leaders and our campers. So we are raising up our next generation of leaders. They are here because they like to help and they like to lead. So let's bring them up and teach them how to be good leaders.
Include them.
Include them, yeah.
Yep.
Ask them for their opinion. Okay, so part of this means all y'all who are too cool to participate in the actions of the songs, participating. Just saying. I'll call you out with a microphone if I see that you're not participating. Ha ha.
Kids love to see that the adults are participating. They love to see the adults singing and doing silly things and having fun with them. They think that's awesome.
Yeah, the whole point of the actions to the songs is not to do the actions. I could care less about the actions. The whole point of doing the actions to the songs is to have fun with the kids, to participate them, to be with them, to be silly, to engage them. Because if they're engaged with worship, if the next place they're going is Bible story or imagination station, they're engaged with Jonathan and Chris because they've already engaged in worship, right? So we want these kids to be as engaged as possible, which means that you as leaders, the example setters, need to be engaged as well. So that also means, unless it's a conversation that's necessary at that point in time, then maybe we hold off talking to our friends until after dismissal is done. So.
But that also means, when I say all morning, that means everywhere you go, you're walking and you're talking. You're having a conversation with your kids. You're talking to them about what they did over the summer. You're talking about their whatever theme day thing that they have on their head. You're always talking with them. You're always engaging them in conversation, and you're getting to know your kids. Don't just go from place to place and have no conversation with the kids.
The point is kind of to build relationship with these kids so we can speak into their lives, right? Understand, number 4, that your role is essential and has an eternal impact. So as we build relationship with these kids, it can have eternal consequences. And that can in turn, as these kids take what happened at Kid Camp home, share with their parents. It might not just be that child that's impacted. Could be whole families. Number 3, please, please, please pray for yourself. Pray for the whole Kid Camp team. Pray for the kids in your group. Pray for just protection over this building and each one coming, whether they're campers or volunteers. We just want the Holy Spirit to be here. We don't want. This is a need and a want.
Yes, it's a need.
Yes, we want, but we need the Holy Spirit to be here. Number 2, pray for the campers and their families, and just pray that what they receive here actually resonates with them, and they bring it home and they talk about it. And number 1, be on time. It happens every year, and we're waiting for people to come in, and we're waiting for people to come in, and we're waiting for people to come in, and I have the microphone on, and I'm like, okay, we need to get started because we have to get started. And Monday, we're going to be a little bit late getting started anyways because it's Monday. But we need to be as on time as possible, even if you have littles that you're bringing with you, because it looks really bad to the community when we're starting 15 minutes late. And then we're dismissing their children 15 minutes late. They've made plans. They have a life. Kid Camp is not their life. It may be our life for the week, but Kid Camp is not their life. So Kid Camp is an opportunity for them to have, 2.5, 3 hours to themselves. It might be the only break they get this summer. But it's not their life. So we need to make sure that we start on time and we finish on time because we need to be respectful of their time and go from there. So
We're
anything
done.
else? We're done. We're done. We're done. Okay, are we all excited for Kid Camp? Yes. It's gonna be awesome. Okay, before we're done, because we're not dismissing you yet, are there questions? Yes, there's several questions. Okay, I'm going to work with the room from this way to this way. Does that?
Okay, just a second. Here I go. Who used to do this? Is this Dale? I'm Dale.
Yes. Okay, Miss Maddie, what do you got?
For the groups this year, because what we did last year was you were in charge of your whole grade. Are we doing that, or are we doing where it's you and your leader, and you're in charge of 5 to 10 kids?
The whole grade again.
Okay.
So we have kindergarten through grade 3 that's going to happen all up here. So you'll have 2 adult leaders, God willing, and 2 youth leaders, God willing, per group. And so there'll be 4 of you for your huddle of kids of whatever grade that is. Okay?
You want to ask a question?
No, you're good. Okay, Miss Marion.
I noticed that there was a requirement for masks.
No.
It's not a requirement.
It's a suggestion.
It is a suggestion.
Free to wear a mask if you prefer.
Okay, I just
You
needed
would
that
like to wear
clarified.
one? You wear one.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Just
Yeah.
needed to clarify. Thank you.
Yeah.
I see at the end of number 1, be on time for Let's Touch Base. Was that explained? Let's touch base?
I did briefly, or maybe Kelly did briefly. So that's our big meet and greet in the morning with the volunteers and Kelly and I. So that we're calling it Let's Touch Base this year. So
8:45.
You have to be in the building at 8:45, sign in your kids, do your thing, and then you come immediately into here rather than visiting out there.
So
we can get
it'll
started as soon as possible.
it'll start at 9, because then
Touch Base will start at 9.
yes, Let's Touch Base starts at 9. So you need to be here before that to get all your ducks in a row. So you can be in here for 9, so we can do the Let's Touch Base, and then the kids start coming.
Yeah.
Do you want us to bring blankets for our group again?
I don't think so.
No blank. I don't think
We don't need to have group blankets.
No.
Okay. Sorry.
At what time do I drop off my preschooler when I bring more than one kid? Because sometimes it was sign them in, bring them back up to the nursery. Is it like that again and there bring them down? Because I will be busy at registration.
You will. Okay, so yes, we did. We've done that in the past. And because our preschool group is going to be up here, correct?
No.
No, they're not.
No.
They're downstairs for,
They're staying downstairs.
Even for Let's Touch Base, right?
Yes.
They're staying downstairs.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but they might not be down there quite when you're here for registration. So yes, you'd sign them in. And because our nursery people will already be in there, it's only 1 or 2 kids that we're going to have to do that for. And so they'll go in the nursery and then we will walk them downstairs. I think both. We need to know where they are.
We'll figure that out for you, and we will come back. We'll figure it out.
And we'll make sure Sarah is quite aware for your training session.
Okay, I have a few questions.
Okay.
Is there a week overview binder for the office?
We will make you one.
Okay.
I think
What?
we have it. It's pink and it says Office Master Copy.
Oh, goody. Second question. You mentioned that the office and registration people for the Let's Touch Bases earlier, before 9?
Yep. So what we did last time was I think at 8:35 or 8:40, I believe, we met in the nursery for like 10 minutes, and we prayed, and we just discussed any concerns and tried to address them. And then for 8:45, we need the nursery people in there, and then I think actually we made it at 8:45 because then we included all the nursery people in it. 8:45. Office, nursery, 8:45, be in there, and we will do our own Let's Touch Base. That's right. Registration team cannot be in there. We haven't thought this through. She is making it up as she goes, and she's doing a very poor job. Okay. So, we need to rethink this. 8:30. 8:30. We have registration team. We have nursery. We have.
Usually met at 8:30, and
Okay.
then we would go sit, and all the other people would come and at least.
It's all a blur, Jasmine. It's all a blur.
I'm just saying, at least one person would sit there. And sign.
Okay. 8:30. So we have office people, we have registration people, we have nursery people. All 3 of those groups are going to meet in the nursery at 8:30. We're going to pray. We're going to go over anything you need us to go over, and then we go. The holiday trailers. We should. We should. I'm here so stinking early in the morning. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, this is a logistical question for parents who can't pick up their child. They have alternates on their forms, correct?
Yep.
What if it's not an alternate?
Then we need a phone call or preferably
A note?
because we don't know what their voice sounds like. An email or a written note
Okay.
asking us to date it. It's got to be dated and signed, and asking us to give said children to said person, and that said person's going to have to come in with picture ID. Yeah, and then we'll take a photocopy of that picture ID and attach it to the note so that we have it for forever. Okay, scanned, yep, good to go.
So I have 2 questions. First off is theme days, is that for all age groups?
Yeah,
All 3 age groups?
yep.
And then are there no kids that are allowed to sign themselves out?
There are, so it's on the registration forms as to whether or not from grades 4 to 6, if you're allowed to sign yourselves out. You will have some grades 4 to 6 who cannot sign themselves out. They may be foster children. They may be children with special needs, so they cannot go out on their own. For one reason or another, you will have probably a handful or more who can't sign themselves out. Yeah, so they'll have a wristband, right? They can't sign themselves out, they're gonna have a wristband.
If they can sign themselves out, they don't get a wristband? Or, I mean, if they can.
Grade 4, grade 5, grade 6. Anyone under that is.
They just don't get the wrist. They just don't get a colored wristband. So Naomi.
So they'll have a wristband. Okay, let us think that through. The point is that no child, grade 3 and under, so will have to be signed out with a security tag. 4, 5s, and Yeah, that's what it was. Different color. Yeah. Yes. So a different color was for a child that was free to be dismissed on their own. 4, 5, and 6 children, grade 4, 5, and 6 children, the parents' choice whether they have to be signed out or they're freed on dismissal. Anyone else?
Any other questions? Yep.
What about putting hand sanitizer in the bags for the leaders?
Hand sanitizer
We can do that.
in the bags for leaders. We have, oh my goodness, we have a plethora of hand sanitizer that was donated to us. I'm sure we can throw hand sanitizer in bags and you can take them home.
Does anyone else have a question?
Sorry, just to clarify, we are supposed to be here at 8:45.
Yes?
Then Let's Touch Base starts at 9.
Yes?
How long is it? Because
Well,
what time are the kids
Kid
getting here?
camp starts at 9:30, and
Oh,
most of
okay.
the kids are probably going to be starting to arrive at 9:20. We try to keep it so that we're wrapped up by 9:15.
Okay.
So you can make your way and go do your pit stop if you need to do a quick pit stop before kid camp, and you're good to go. So Rochelle,
Just wait for the microphone. Rochelle, what do you want to say?
There may have been someone covering for you the last 2 weeks that may have told a few parents to be here at 9. I'm sorry.
she's really sorry. That someone who was covering is really sorry. Well, I'm glad I had a good time in Nova Scotia while that someone was covering for me, telling me to bring people here.
We have one more question.
I'm just curious about the Sunday service, the finale. Do you need volunteers for that as well, or is that okay?
Yes, so as a volunteer with Kid Camp, we want everyone for the Celebration Sunday to make time to come on Celebration Sunday because the kids really love seeing their leaders here. B, to wear your Kid Camp shirt when you're here. And then come up and participate in the worship portion of that. And then, where am I on? C or D, whatever letter I'm on. Then we probably will need help with serving the lunch. So it's a hot dog ice cream sundae lunch, and our kitchen team would probably appreciate a little bit of help just serving our guests who are going to be coming from the community. So, yeah. Any other questions?
Woo!
Are we free? Do you want to pray to close?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready?
Ready.
Here we go. Jesus, we're grateful. Thank you for each one. Thank you for all the kids that you're going to bring this year. Thank you for all the families that you're going to change this year because of your love and your grace and your mercy. We thank you so much that you love us. We thank you so much that we have this opportunity to serve our community, to give the kids a fun time, but also to teach them about you. Help us to make your name famous in Gibbons. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.